Thank you.
Mr. Frank L40, the ring announcer this evening, handing proceedings over right this moment to Stan Christodoulou, the referee in charge.
Shake hands, good luck to you both.
There we are, Mr. Christodoulou just saying shake hands. Don't forget, of course, making sure we have got Mr. Christodoulou mic'd up this evening, and you'll hear any innuendos coming from that ring, I promise you. Yes, this is it, the Clash of the Titans, the Squadron Rum Clash of the Titans at the Rand Stadium, the Mnet Supersport production. My name's Barry Lambert, and with me at ringside, Duplooy. Johnny Duplooy in the blue shorts, trunks, with Johnny along the front, and the black shorts and white flashes of Mike Weaver.
Well, the men have wasted no time at all in exchanging what looks to be very solid punches, Barry. Jabs going right down, and Duplooy mixing the punches well on the inside.
Nice to see he's taking control of this fight early on. That left jab of Mike Weaver. Jabs it out, got a long jab there. Look at that physique thrown through, but Duplooy not frightened of this man's record.
The word from America is that Weaver doesn't take a punch quite as well today as he did a few years ago. James Pritchard in Weaver's last fight certainly hurt Weaver with punches to the head. But he got careless, and Weaver came back and knocked him out. So that's the one thing Duplooy has to be careful about himself.
With a good left jab as Weaver. Duplooy trying one into the body, and it's a good solid one. Weaver almost just flat-footed, just pushing forward and pushing Duplooy forward, backwards with that left jab.
Well, Weaver seems to be able to score with a jab almost as well. Measuring Duplooy.
Duplooy throwing combinations. He's getting the left and the right together, coming over.
Yes, he's throwing twice as many punches as Weaver, which means he must be perhaps a hit on point so far in this round.
Coming downstairs there a couple of times.
Weaver's inclined to be headhunting at the moment. He hasn't gone at the body, but I guess this is very much a reconnaissance round for him.
Yes, Duplooy opens himself up when he throws those combinations, so there is a great possibility that Weaver will settle down and see that, or at least his cornermen will. But maybe also he understands that Duplooy does throw a good punch, and he wants to cover up at the top as well, Bert.
Well, that's understandable, particularly if his chin is suspect now. He'd be aware of that. Well, that was quite a useful right hand from Weaver.
Well, a pretty even round, I must admit, although Duplooy certainly came out with a lot more aggression during the course of that round.
I thought Duplooy threw more punches than Weaver. Weaver appeared to be biding his time, perhaps feeding out the young man. He has some replay from round one.
That's the combination, got it through well. And that's the left jab to get through well as well.
Yes, Weaver coming back with a jab. We didn't see too many right hands from Weaver in round one. And Duplooy even went to the body, which we haven't seen Weaver do at all.
Second out, round number 2.
Well, that's a solid jab, Barry. That's a good way to start a round. Weaver scored, and again.
Good left and right from Duplooy. Once again, that jab from Weaver. Good left from Duplooy, just slid across the face of Weaver.
Well, Duplooy is scoring with that right hand.
Weaver once again just coming forward. He's not really being put off by Duplooy's attack. He just keeps coming forward. That left jab's a cracker.
Knocking Duplooy's head right back.
Absolutely.
But Duplooy does take a punch well. I've seen him hit with some beauties in these last few fights, and he's taken them well. Got a good chin.
This is probably the most alert I've seen Duplooy for many a fight, funny enough, Bert, and I think I've seen his last five fights live. Just jabbing all the time at the moment.
Yeah, Weaver's relying on the jab at the moment. I think he's trying to measure his man. He hasn't really let his punches go yet, except for the jab. Solid jab, but I haven't seen a really solid right hand from Weaver. Now, that was a beautiful left from Weaver. But he hasn't gone to the body. And, you know, when you consider that Parky did so well with those body shots at Sun City, I'm surprised he hasn't tried the body shots yet. Because Duplooy is open down there. Or appears to be.
Yes, I think he opens up every time he throws a punch to Duplooy, and I think Weaver's certainly not taking advantage of that. He uses that left jab so well, and he hasn't thrown a right yet. Throws one there, just slides up the face of Duplooy.
Duplooy is prepared to jab with Weaver. He's staying right in close. Well, that's the first body shot from Weaver, and it didn't have all that much power behind it.
Good left jab.
Of course, Weaver's best punch is the left hook, and perhaps we will see the hook off the jab just now.
Jabbing away.
Oh, here goes the body
First
again.
one in.
But those punches
With the left hook is what he wanted.
That's right, and you heard him say go to the body, catch him in the body.
So Weaver coming forward now. A little bit more aggression, you can see it already. And a good left jab. He's got a great left jab as Weaver.
I think Duplooy has done well to slip that jab.
Yep.
Oh, there's a combination, the first real combination from Weaver, the left and the right. Weaver staying within punching range.
Great left. Well, he just threw a couple of them combinations there, but just put Weaver a little bit off.
And as Duplooy went to the body, Weaver still concentrating on the head.
Left there from Weaver as well. Oh, and a great body punch from Duplooy. It's a good body punch.
Weaver looks to be in trouble.
He does. That was a good body punch. And Weaver is in trouble. But Duplooy piling on the agony here. Halfway through round number 3. Weaver takes it and comes back off the ropes.
And Weaver's legs looked rather unsteady. He must have been hurt there in that exchange.
And there's a good right from Duplooy. And another one into the body.
Weaver's just covering up, making no attempt to fight back.
Weaver's not fighting back at all. I don't know why he's not fighting back. It would be unnatural.
Well, it could be that he's hurt. And now Duplooy turns his back on him, incredibly.
That's what he did at Sun City a couple of times, and I was most surprised to see that happen. Bends almost over double. What a strange thing to do.
Well, one of these nights, someone's going to take advantage of that. Appears to be some blood on Weaver's face.
On a good left from Weaver. But Duplooy certainly got control of this, the third round.
Weaver looks rather rocky. Very unsteady on his legs.
We're looking about 20 seconds or so to go of this round number 3. Weaver certainly unsteady. Duplooy taking control of this fight.
Weaver's still ambling forward, but there seems to be a little purpose behind what he's doing. And he doesn't seem to be fighting back. And now you notice the jab, he's just pawing with it. He's just pushing it out.
It's not got the strength.
No snap. Well, I'm sure Weaver must be relieved to hear the bell into round 3.
Hey, give me that towel. Give me this one. Come on. Mike, you're waiting too long. You're waiting entirely too long, Mike.
Well, Weaver being told that you're giving him far too much leeway, and he certainly did. He came out there, did Weaver, in the start of round number 3 to take advantage, but then you can just see what Duplooy did.
He kept him at the attack through a barrage of punches, and I think it was obviously in that exchange, well, not an exchange, during that barrage there that Weaver was hurt. He was never quite the same after that. And whilst Weaver's taken a lot of those punches on his arms and gloves, 1 or 2 have got through. You notice Weaver going, you notice Duplooy going between Weaver's arms with some of those punches.
Round number 4.
Round number 4 it is of this, the Clash of the Titans, the Squadron Rum sponsored program here at the Rand Stadium. An Eminent Supersport production with Johnny Duplooy against Mike Weaver. And Weaver in all sorts of trouble in round number 3. He's got to come out and start dominating, but Duplooy is not going to allow him to do that, I'm sure.
Well, it's still Weaver who's coming forward.
Weaver's very flat-footed indeed. So right over the top, it just gets through.
Well, that was a fairly good body shot from Weaver. The referee, Chris Dulu, tells him to keep his punches up.
Duplooy. And that was that sort of punch, that body blow that slowed down Weaver last time, but this time Weaver took it and came forward again.
Duplooy looking for an opening, trying to work for an opening with that jab. And Weaver just lunging with the right hand. We haven't really seen Weaver's left hook here this evening. Seen the jab, we've seen 1 or 2 right hands, but not the left hook.
Just caught one across there as it came across, as you were talking about it.
He must have heard me, Barry.
Right on cue, Bert. But Duplooy is so open when he throws those punches, I'm surprised that Weaver hasn't taken advantage of that.
Weaver's reflexes look to be very slow.
Right on that occasion, it does connect, and there's a good right hand. Connect again. Not following up at all, is Weaver.
No, he's not. He just doesn't seem to have the mobility. He never did have good footwork, of course. But he looked as though he hurt Duplooy there.
A little wild with that left.
And that's a surprise because he was so active with the left earlier on. But it's the right hand that seems to be worrying Duplooy, not the left. And I would have thought Weaver would throw more of them.
Right onto the chest of Weaver, of Duplooy. Weaver in close, trying to get a few combinations going. He certainly has come back into this fight in round number 4.
Well, he's certainly catching Duplooy with that right hand to the head.
Oh,
that one hurt Duplooy.
It did indeed, right on the barrel. That was a good round for following up, Bert. Another good right.
Weaver's very slow-footed.
He lets him get away. Willie Lock there, bending over Johnny Duplooy. There's Mike Weaver, just getting that final bit of instruction and certainly encouragement. Round number 5 it is of the Squadron Run Clash of the Titans. Johnny Duplooy. and Mike Weaver. Mike Weaver now coming forward to Duplooy, but missing. Duplooy very quickly off the ropes.
Well, he seemed to be driving into Duplooy, and now that's a body shot. Was that low? I didn't see it.
Body shot there that goes down low, and Stan Christodoulou allows the boxing.
Under no foul rule, he's giving Duplooy time to recover. It must have been a low blow.
A piece of ice has dropped on the canvas there, is what I can see. A very strange thing to happen. A bit of ice falling on the canvas.
Okay, time out. Box.
Back on again we go. And certainly Weaver throwing a lot of good body punches into Duplooy, and Duplooy's taking another one. Now, what is that?
That's not the way he's going to win this fight, surely. A no foul rule applies here. The referee would have to be really convinced that Duplooy is badly hurt. In fact, he can give him 5 minutes in which to recover if necessary.
Stanley Christodoulou not happy about that. He seems to be hurt somewhere on the line as well.
Is it his arm? Well, they've all been on the box.
I believe
Weaver's going to win this.
Weaver with a cracking right as he came roaring in. And Weaver's in a hurry to try and do something about this. But he hit Weaver with a great right as he came across.
Well, that's desperation from Duplooy. Weaver's in trouble.
But he's hurt his left arm. His left hand is hurt, Duplooy's. That's what the problem is.
It seems to be, yes. Well, he used it then to clip up Weaver with a left hook. But it's the right hand that he's relying on.
And Weaver really did walk into a haymaker, didn't he, on his way through there?
Well, he wanted to end the fight quickly. He saw that Duplooy was in a lot of trouble. Well, this is anybody's fight. It could go anyway now, either way.
Good right from Weaver. Little low that one again from Weaver.
Weaver's punching it a bit on the careless side, really. Well, there really does appear to be something wrong with Johnny Duplooy.
Yes, his left hand, he seemed to be complaining to referee Christodoulou's left hand was hurt. And here comes Weaver now. Weaver into Duplooy. Duplooy's taking a lot of punishment. And Weaver's a little wild himself. And he's hurt, is Duplooy. He's got a very sore hand indeed.
Yes, I don't think there's any question about it that left arm is injured in some way or other.
Very sore.
Because whenever he throws it, you can see him grimace. And now Weaver's attacking the body, using the uppercut to straighten Duplooy up.
He's hurt. Every time he throws that left, it hurts. You can see the grimace on his face. Duplooy is hurt in that left hand.
Well, there's still a great many rounds to go, and they're right to the jaw.
What a cracking.
Duplooy is down.
He's got no guard. He really hasn't. And Duplooy goes down, and Stan Christodoulou says, get into a neutral corner. Box on we do, and I think we've wasted quite a bit of time here. And that's the end of round number 5 that lasted 3 minutes 41 seconds. But of course there was a stoppage in the middle.
There was a stoppage, yes. That would have been, they would have stopped the clock when the referee instructed the timekeeper to do that because of the low punch. Well, there was a lot of incident in that round, and the big question is just how badly hurt is Duplooy's left hand. Now the corner are working on that. There's a replay. That was the low punch.
Of course, at this stage, Weaver's not got into a neutral corner, but Duplooy is undoubtedly in agony.
Yes. And here's another one. A right hand. That's the just before the bell. And there's no question about it. Duplooy's in serious trouble as we come out now for round number 6.
Round number 6 of this Clash of the Titans.
And a clash it certainly appears to be.
And Weaver is very quick to get in there indeed. He knows that Duplooy has got no answer to that left.
Well, he's pounding him with everything, Barry. Look at this.
Duplooy's taking a lot of punishment there. Weaver almost throws himself off his feet there trying to throw that one.
He's so anxious to get at Duplooy. Suddenly he's found the mobility that wasn't there earlier on.
Duplooy has got a lot of hard work to try and keep out of trouble here. In round number 6 we are. This squadron run Clash of the Titans, the Mnet Super Sports Bill at the Rand Stadium. Mr. Christodoulou says break.
Well, Duplooy would be wise to use the ring and back away from Weaver until he recovers the composure anyway. I don't know about that left hand, how badly hurt it really was. But Weaver's catching Duplooy with the right hand.
Good right there from Weaver, but it's that left, I think, is the problem, child. It looks as though he's almost frightened to land it. When he does, you can see the grimace in his face. You can see it there, like when he throws the left.
There's no
he's
question,
definitely hurt.
He's hurt that left arm.
And obviously, Duplooy has just got to wait for his opening with his right, as he doesn't seem to have too much of a left there.
Well, basically, Duplooy is now being reduced to a one-handed fighter. And whether a one-handed fighter can beat a man like Weaver is a big question.
Just the case of whether Weaver becomes careless or Weaver becomes over anxious to try and do his own demolishing trick. The head's going in there a bit. That's all he's got. The right hand. It's a little low, but he got away with it.
Weaver straightening Duplooy up with the uppercut. He knows that Duplooy's left is gone. He's just walking straight into his man.
Of course, what he's got to watch there, that when he does walk straight into his man, that he doesn't open himself up. And,
to the right hand, yes. Well, that's all Duplooy has left, it would seem.
There's another one. But of course, Weaver taking complete control with both hands.
And Weaver's holding his left glove high to guard himself against the right hand.
Oh, and a great right from Weaver. Duplooy in trouble in his own corner with about 10 seconds to go, round number 6.
Well, there's no question who won that round. It was Weaver's.
En ik moet zeggen, baie welkom klok. Lui voor Johnny Duplooy.
That goes to the next round.
Ik denk dat die gevecht is voorbij in hierdie stadium. En ik geloof niet dat Duplooy gaan uitkomen voor die volgende ronde in hierdie gevecht niet. Ik denk zijn helpers gaan hem in die hoek laten blij.
Wel, meneer Christodoulou heeft gaan gezels. En dan zei die winnaar is Mike Weaver. Die gevecht wordt gestaakt aan die einde dan van die 6e ronde voor die 7e kan beginnen. En dat betekent dat die onoorwonnen record van Johnny Duplooy daarmee is. En dat hij nu na 18 gevechten 17 gewin het, 15 moet uitkloppen. Maar dat hij dan ook die onderspit gedelf heeft in hierdie gevecht tegen Mike Weaver.
Het is eigenlijk jammer dat Duplooy bij die stadium op pad om een pak sla te krijgen. Als hij niet van Weaver kon uitslaan.
A technical knockout in the 7th round, Mike Weaver.
En in die kruid, Robin Welch met een woordje hopelijk van Mike Weaver.
What a great win.
Thank you.
Find the going.
Johnny Duplooy is very tough. You know, and he's very hard. He hurt me hurt real bad. You know, I think I did pretty good for a man 36 years old. But you know, he's very tough. So I hope he doesn't discourage him. He's a great fighter. He really is. And I think he'll be a tough fight. And he's every bit of what you say. He's very tough and he's very hard. So South Africa have a great fighter in Johnny Duplooy. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
On the night, you were the better fighter.
Yeah, I was more determined. You know, I was more determined, and I trained hard for the fight, and it was a tough fight. You know, but he had a good jab, and it busted my mouth, and I couldn't breathe. The attitude started. Climate started getting by me. But in the third round, I had a hard time breathing. But you know, I had to dig off and get that extra energy from God. So I think praise the Lord for it.
And Mike, what's next now?
I'd like to come back and fight your South African champion.
Who's that?
Pierre Cusset.
When?
I'd like to come back and fight him, you know, sometime in March maybe. I hope he's not as tough as this guy.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. All the best for your game.
Well, there we are. As you can see there, a very gallant